Good evening. In the dying and fevered final days of his presidency, Donald Trump today poured jet fuel on a fire he started long ago, inciting a coup attempt and disrupting the American tradition of a peaceful transition of power. Pro-Trump mobs, spurred on by his lies and conspiracies, stormed the U.S. Capitol, outnumbering police. An armed standoff inside the building that's a symbol of American democracy. A female rioter was killed and lawmakers forced out. Right now, it's not clear who is running America. Trump has been temporarily banned from his social media safety net. But late tonight, Vice President Mike Pence clearly took control.
To those who wreaked havoc in our Capitol today, you did not win. Violence never wins. Freedom wins. Let's get back to work.
Tonight, both sides returned, determined to carry out their duty of certifying the next president. Our coverage begins with CTV's Washington Bureau Chief, Joy Malbon.
Lisa, Congress may be back at work, but it comes after a shocking day like no other.
We will not give up our country!
The People's House desecrated by a mob of angry Trump supporters storming the U.S. Capitol. Rioters shoving and smashing their way into the building. One woman was shot and later died in hospital.
Everybody stay down! Get down!
Some lawmakers were forced to hide as rioters roamed the Capitol's grand halls, breaking into offices. One rioter making himself comfortable in Speaker Nancy Pelosi's chair. This Republican lawmaker tweeting,
"Right now, I am sheltered in place in my office. This is Banana Republic crap that we're watching happen."
With guns drawn on the House floor, these are stunning images. Police battling with Trump rioters to try and control the situation, at times seeming outnumbered. Earlier at a massive rally stoking their grievances was Donald Trump, who for weeks repeated the lie the presidential election was rigged and stolen from him.
We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
In his last desperate days,
right here, we're going to walk down to the Capitol and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
Trump urged his supporters to march on the Capitol and overturn the vote.
We're here to fight.
The second they say no, there was no corruption, is the second every American patriot takes arms and fights back.
After 4 years of Trump's divisive presidency, many, even Republicans, blame him for what some are calling a terrorist attack.
This is not dissent. It's disorder. It's chaos. It borders on sedition. And it must end now.
But it took hours for Trump to finally call for calm, refusing to condemn his supporters.
This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special.
By nightfall, the National Guard and riot police moved in to move the Trump rioters out. As a curfew took effect, those who don't leave will be arrested.
Tonight, Trump's actions are being questioned. Lawmakers are discussing censure, another impeachment, possibly even removing Trump as president with just 2 weeks to go. Lisa?
Wow. All right, Joy, we will discuss that further in a moment. But we do know it was the vice president, not Donald Trump, who ultimately tried to restore calm by finally calling in the National Guard. CTV's Annie Bergeron Oliver is with us. Annie, you were in the middle of it when things got out of control today. What's it like tonight?
Tonight, Washington, D.C. is a fortress, Lisa, as questions swirl about whether this city was prepared enough for the chaos that we saw earlier today. Now, access to much of the downtown core is blocked, whether it's by a cement truck or a dump truck or police cruisers. The key focus tonight is trying to keep the peace, but it's also on protecting the U.S. Capitol as lawmakers get back to work. Now, previous Trump rallies have seen some violence overnight, whether it was a stabbing or arrests. That's why, with the help of Maryland and Virginia, the police presence has been boosted. There are now more than 1,700 members of the National Guard. That's in addition to thousands of police officers from D.C. and surrounding local police forces. They are going to be trying to keep the quiet that's on these streets here now, working throughout the night, Lisa, and that will be helped with an overnight curfew that went into effect at 6 p.m.
Okay, be careful. Annie Bergeron Oliver on the streets of the U.S. Capitol tonight.